dear ones. Today I will be discussing with you information about timelines. Many of you are experiencing different types of versions of your reality in your physicality at this time. Many of you have memories or experiences of things that have occurred in your life in a specific way. And yet, when you go back and you recall, or you try to locate understandings or information regarding those experiences, they are different or they differ in some way. We want you to understand, dear ones, that currently what is happening on your planet is there are multiple versions and very different timelines that are either splitting apart or they are all merging into one. If you can understand the concepts that you are a multidimensional being, having experiences in this reality that will be altered or that will be different in many different ways because of the different dimensions and realities that you are experiencing simultaneously. Now, you must understand that even though you are experiencing different versions of realities in different dimensions, you do not recall all of those experiences. Sometimes you only recall fragments or portions of those experiences, and you align them or you put them in order so that they make sense to you logically. So you must understand that in a specific timeline, there are multiple versions of what actually transpires in those timelines that happen all at the same time. Depending on your state of consciousness and your understanding of those experiences will depend on which part of that line you will recall. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Now understand that the timelines that you are witnessing or experiencing at this time that differ from what many of you feel you are witnessing is because those multiple timelines are either falling apart or they are merging into a different timeline. How timelines actually function is based on a collective state of consciousness. This will explain the reasoning behind why many of you will have a certain memory, or you will recall a specific way of a situation or an experience or something that you remember. That is because those of you that recall that memory or recall that experience were all within the same stream of consciousness within that timeline. Does this make sense?
Yes.
So therefore, when you have certain individuals within your reality that recall that experience or memory, and those that do not, you must understand that the reasoning those individuals do not recall the same situation or experience as you do, it is because they were in a different state of consciousness within that timeline. You must understand, dear ones, that everything that you encounter or experience within your reality is based on your state of consciousness. This is how you ultimately travel within your timeline or reality. See, many of you often view that timelines are linear, that you experience the past that is behind you, that you're in the present, which is in the middle, and the future, which is ahead of you. but that is not how it actually works. You see, where you are in your state of consciousness determines how you shift your realities and the things that you experience or recall within that reality. So at this time, there are many different versions of timelines that were created consciously that many of you dip into, you see. Many of you fall within that stream of consciousness, or you come into contact with that stream of consciousness. This is why there are multiple people who have certain versions or experiences of how they experience things while others have not. Do you understand that it's all based on your state of consciousness? So your state of consciousness determines what you ultimately will remember or recall or experience within your reality. Now, many of you have heard that planet Earth is shifting into a different dimension. And many of you wonder, will this be an experience that many of you will shift and some of you will not? You must understand that everyone's experience is based on their state of consciousness, where they are in their current reality and what they are experiencing at the time. Therefore, there will be some people who will experience the new earth, who will experience the shifting and how things will ultimately shift in their reality because it is of their state of consciousness, you see. And there will be others who will not be experiencing the same things as those that are shifting. You will still continue to experience things within a 3D reality. There are some of you who are experiencing the mist of both realities. And this is because you are straddling. You are straddling both the plane of an old existence into the plane of a new existence. For many of you, it could be that because there are still things within your reality that are still keeping you attached to that old paradigm. That is not necessarily a bad thing. You must understand that you are exactly where you need to be in your experience, in your life, and in your reality. There is no need to try to shift yourself in a space, in a state of consciousness, or in a state of reality that is different than what you are currently experiencing. Understand that there are no mistakes. There is no specific need for you to rush into anything. Where you are in this moment, the experiences you are having or encountering are vital. They are important and they are necessary for your evolution and your growth. Therefore, be present in the experiences that you are currently having and allow yourself to experience them fully without the need to rush, without the need to judge. Just allow yourself to be where you are. Now understand that there will be moments, dear ones, where you might find yourself in a state of consciousness that is not lucrative or relative to what you currently desire. Meaning, there is an experience that you are ultimately wanting to have that is at a much higher vibrational level. And the experiences that you have or that you are witnessing at the time are not in alignment with that which you desire. So it is important for you to really ask yourself, where are you consciously? Where are you vibrating? What are your seeds of thought within that moment? And how can you shift your awareness and consciousness into a higher vibrational state of consciousness so that you could ultimately begin to focus and shift your point of attraction into experiencing that which you desire. So as you continue to move along your path and your journey in this reality, and you become aware of your state of consciousness, you can ultimately then understand that you are shifting within timelines throughout different variations in the day. If you really pay close attention, dear ones, if you understand where you are mentally, if you understand the things that you think about, where your point of attraction naturally stays or where it naturally goes, you will have a better understanding of how you can shift in and out of different timelines, different realities. You see, there are many metaphysical individuals or teachers or gurus who often speak about the shifting between dimensions, between a 3D to a 4D to a 5D. Understand that that shifting is all based on your seeds of thought. It is based on where you focus your attention. It is based on your state of consciousness, that which you believe, that which you ultimately witness or experience or see within your reality. A state of consciousness is ultimately your state of mind. For many of you, it's easier for you to comprehend or to understand that if you can see something, you can ultimately understand it and have a better idea of that which you experience. But it is all generated from your thoughts and your beliefs. This is why we constantly teach you and try to explain to you that it is vital and important for you to understand what your point of attraction is focusing upon. Because you are a magnet, you are an energetic being, creating your own physicality and your own reality within every waking moment. Where you focus your attention is ultimately where you will naturally gravitate towards. This is why we ask you to focus on your thoughts. Truly understand yourself in and out. Understand your beliefs. Are they limiting you from truly having better experiences, more expansive experiences, full of unlimited potential and opportunity? Many of you are witnessing a breakdown of a community, of a society, of governments, everything you are witnessing. Some of you are watching it unfold, and you ponder, you question. Many of you witness this and fall into streams of consciousness of fear and doubt and uncertainty, while others of you witness this and observe. You observe and you ask yourself, where am I? What do I want? Where is my point of attraction? You see, as you shift your consciousness and your awareness on that which you believe is ultimately the timeline that you will experience your reality. So when we tell you that you are multidimensional, what we are really saying is that you can jump from timeline to timeline and experience different versions of your reality based on where you are consciously. You can experience many different versions of that reality based on where your point of attraction is focused upon. Have you ever had moments, dear ones, where you sit back and you recall on a memory? Let's say you experience something within your reality that sort of triggers a memory. This trigger often occurs because of something that you witness or that you experience, which then triggers an emotion. Many of you are not even aware that your emotions actually help you solidify where you are consciously. So whatever you experience or whatever you witness, and it triggers something deep within you, you then shift your awareness and your consciousness to that time, to that space. And you all of a sudden begin to recall things that you don't remember experiencing. You will often tell yourself, I don't recall that, or I do not remember experiencing that. This is the reason why there could be a group of you all experiencing the same experiencing, yet recalling different versions of what occurred. This is because of your state of consciousness, you see, where you are focusing your attention. Understand that you are the magnet and you ultimately attract experiences that match the magnitude of what you are attracting. We give you this information, dear ones, because we don't want you to get hung up on the future. We don't want you to get hung up on the what ifs, on what could potentially occur, because there are many of you that are falling within a stream of consciousness of fear, of potentials. This is the reason why we often tell you your future is not predictable. We can give you glimpses of different versions of realities of what could potentially transpire, but ultimately, where you fall or where you go depends on your point of attraction. You ultimately get to decide. You get to choose the experiences that you want to encounter within this reality. So no matter where you are in the timeline, just know that you are. You are here. You are within this present moment, experiencing multiple versions of your reality because you are simply trying to align yourself to that which feels more like you, that which feels more like it is within the alignment of your true divinity and who you are. You are simply trying to find the path and align to that path. Seek and ye shall find. This is about exploring the journey within. It is about exploring and uncovering deeply within yourself who you are and what you are truly capable of. Know that there will be many individuals that you will encounter that will have different experiences than you. That does not mean that you are oblivious or that you are unaware to what is currently going on around you. It is perfectly okay to be aware of what is transpiring within your planet. But it is also important for you to be aware of where you focus your attention. Understanding that where your attention goes is ultimately what you will be attracting within your reality and experience. So if you continue to focus on despair or pain or war, destruction. Those are the things that you will experience. It will naturally become relevant in your reality. You will witness it everywhere you go. Because again, your magnet is pointing in that direction. You are attracting those specific timelines to you to experience them within that reality. So here is our advice to you, dear ones. Become very clear, very aware of what you truly want to experience in your reality. What kind of life are you wanting to have within this reality? Once you can identify that, you then must begin the process of shifting your awareness and your consciousness to things that will help you naturally gravitate towards those things, towards experiencing those things, witnessing those things within your reality. It'll help shift that magnet you see. Point it in the right direction so that you can start experiencing, observing, and witnessing those types of experiences. You must understand that timelines, their existence and their creation is based off of universal state of consciousness. So this means that the more of you that focus on a specific experience universally, consciously, the more it will expand, the more that it will grow. So the more of you that focus on despair and war and drugs and all of those things that help separate you from your divinity, those timelines will expand, they will grow. And more of you will dip into that state of consciousness and have those experiences. And those of you that focus upon the opposite of that, when you focus upon love and growth and harmony and coming together as one, then that universal state of consciousness will grow. And that is how timelines shift. That is how experiences and realities differ from each other and they split apart. You see, what you are experiencing now within your reality is exactly this. There are many of you that are splitting off your states of consciousness from the one. Understand that this means that this is why many of you are experiencing dual realities. The opposite. Because you're becoming aware of your state of consciousness. And you're now realigning and shifting that awareness into ultimately what you are desiring. Where does what I desire truly align with that of the universal state of consciousness? Become aware. Know where you are consciously. Ask yourself, what experiences are you ultimately wanting to have within your reality? That will ultimately help you shift your compass, your magnet, to that which you ultimately want to have. The next step will be taking action towards those things and maintaining that specific mindset and that specific state of consciousness so that you become truly aligned with that timeline, that state of consciousness that will eventually grow and expand the more that you focus upon it. Ultimately providing you with the experiences that you have within your reality. Use your time wisely, dear ones, while you are here. This is a time for you to become aware of your divinity, of who you are, what you are truly capable of. The many beautiful, miraculous things that you can ultimately create and that are already a part of you. They are already there. It is merely a need for you to shift your magnet in the direction of that which is already there waiting for you. We thank you for your time, for listening to this message. We ask that you share it with those individuals that are aligned, that want to truly understand how to change their lives, how to shift their consciousness and awareness. Do you have any questions?
Yes. So there are millions upon millions of timelines that we shift through every single day, every single second.
Yes.
All depending on our vibration and what we're aligning with.
Yes.
So there, for example, there is a timeline where Eileen did not walk her spiritual path.
Yes.
And there is a timeline where when I had my heart attack, I did die.
Yes.
So there are just so many different aspects out there. It is truly all about your focus and alignment.
Yes. I must explain something to you. Eileen has a very specific, unique gift where her body indicates for her when something is right on point. She gets goosebumps, you see. Her nerve endings begin to flare, and she feels this burst of energy within her body. And as she sat back and heard you ask these specific questions, she started feeling that energy within her body and the excitement that was swelling up. Because in her mind, even though I am speaking through her, in her mind, she was saying, yes, they're getting it. So yes, this is the reason why we tell you, do not focus upon the future. Because when people predict things, when they say they can predict your future, they are tapping into multiple versions of timelines that were potentials for you. But which timeline you arrive upon when you get there depends on you, depends on your state of consciousness, your state of awareness. This is why we constantly tell you, focus on the now. Everything is in the now. There is no tomorrow. There is only now. Because what you all do not understand is that you are ultimately creating tomorrow in the now. Tomorrow does not exist. Do you understand?
Yes.
Everything is now, in this present moment. So tomorrow gets created in the now. Does this make sense?
Yes. Because everything is happening now.
Yes.
And that is why we are all one.
Yes.
Because even though there's an aspect of Dana, there's an aspect of Eileen, there's an aspect of millions of people on this planet and beings all throughout the cosmos, the reality is we're all one.
The illusion that you experience in this reality is separation.
But we're not separated.
We are not. You are not. There is no separation between you and I.
We're just truly all one source.
One.
That is why this is like an illusion. This is like a dream.
Correct.
Why?
Why what?
Why for the one source to have this dream of separation?
to expand upon itself, to grow and experience and learn in many different ways, having different experiences and different realities, to evolve. Without those experiences, you see, the true gift is uncovering your vastness. And you already are vast and expansive. You want to learn its opposite. So the illusion of separation was created to help you uncover the beauty, the bliss, and the harmony of understanding wholeness, completeness, oneness. You have to have the separation to truly understand the grandeur of it. Because even though we are all one, we are all interconnected, there's still more potential. We have to learn more about ourselves and who we are in order to grow and become the gods and the goddesses that we already are.
So even, for a lack of a better word, what we call dark energy, negative energy. To use an example, demons, they still have a potential to come to the light.
Yes.
Because in essence, they are a part of our one.
Yes.
Is that why I'm personally intrigued? Because deep down, I want to help them.
It is natural for you to want to help them, yes, because there is a part of you that feels that connection. You feel the empathy, the compassion, and the sympathy. Because you're trying to understand where it all went wrong. But you must understand there is no wrong in this journey. It is merely a way of finding. Just as much as there is light, there is dark. But understand that they too have their own path, their own level of evolution that they must go through. It is not your responsibility.
They have to have their experiences.
Correct.
How, if you can possibly give a percentage, for human beings that are on this current earth plane, say, what percentage of them truly understand this concept?
25, 30%.
Really?
Not very many.
I thought it was going to be less.
It has grown. It certainly has expanded, has become more prevalent, where people are starting to wake up with how knowledge is passed on now electronically. But it's still not where it should be. Because you see, so many things were hidden from all of you, from humanity. But from our perspective, it's still low. We find it surprising that you consider that to be high.
I do. I guess I didn't realize that much of consciousness has woken up.
Since 2012, there has been a lot more consciousness that has shifted.
Is there anything additional that you have?
Not at this time.